Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of A Marriage Proposal, a play by Anton Chekhov. The play starts with Lamov coming to his neighbor's house. His neighbor is Chuboko. Chuboko has a daughter named Natalia, and Natalia is 25 years old and single. Now Lamov has come here to propose to Natalia for marriage, but he is very nervous. Therefore, he tells Chuboko that he has come to ask him for a favor. Chuboko thinks that he wants some money and he has come to borrow that money. But after much hesitation, Lamov tells him that he has come to ask for Natalia in marriage. Hearing that, Chubukov is so happy and he kisses him and he says that my daughter will definitely accept his proposal, and he says that I will go and send her. Now Lamov is alone and he is trembling and he is feeling cold, and according to him, Natalia will be an excellent housekeeper and she is not bad looking, and also she is well educated. At the same time, if he does not marry now, he knows very well that he will never get married because he is 35 years older and he has a weak heart and he suffers from palpitation. And above all, the worst thing is he is not at all able to sleep properly. Whenever he lies down to sleep and begins to doze, his left side pulls and something begins to hammer in his left shoulder and his head. So he will get up and walk a little and lie down again. But the same thing will happen again, and the whole night he will spend like this. He is not at all able to sleep properly. And he feels only if his life gets well regulated, he can come out of all this. And he feels that marriage can bring his peace and regularity in his life. As he is thinking about all this, Natalia comes and she is actually surprised to see Lamov because her father had told her that a dealer has come to buy something. And she feels bad for wearing an old apron, and she asks him to excuse her, and she asks him whether he wants anything to eat, and she also offers him smoke and talks about the weather. And looking at him dressed in a formal dress, she is surprised and she tells him that he looks better in that, and she actually thinks he is going for a party. Now Lamov is really excited and he is not able to propose directly to her. So he talks about how these two families have been in good relationship for a long time. He tells her that his late aunt and his late uncle had lots of respect for her father and her late mother. So from that we come to know that Natalia, as her mother, is no more. And moreover, they have been neighbors for a long time. That is, his property and her property are next to next. Like his oxen meadows is next to her birch woods. Hearing him talking about oxen meadows as his property, Natalia is shocked. She says that oxen meadows is hers and not his. But Lamov says, no, oxen meadows is mine, because his aunt's grandmother had given free of cost for all the peasants who were working there to use the meadows. And this she did because her father's grandfather had helped his grandmother for building certain things. And therefore she had allowed these people to use the meadows free of cost for 40 years. And because they have used it for 40 years, they have forgotten that the real owner is Lamov, and they have started thinking that the place belongs to them. But Natalia does not believe it, and Lamov says, I will show you all the papers that place belongs to me. And now she tells him, no, I remember that this place belongs to us for the past 300 years. Of course, this place is not of much value, but at the same time she says, what you are saying is not correct. This is injustice and I will not give it to you. See, I don't want to take any of your property. At the same time, I am not willing to give any of my property to you. Like this, when they are talking, he forgets that he has come here to propose to her, and they start a quarrel. And Natalia tells him that she will immediately send all her reapers to the meadows. And Lamov says, if they come to my meadows, I'll send them out. Now they start shouting at each other. At this time, Chubukov comes there, and when he comes to know that they are arguing about oxen meadows, he supports his daughter. Now, immediately Lemao tries to explain, but Tushiko is not willing to listen. And he says that I will give that meadows even to my peasants, but definitely I will not allow you to come and tell me that it belongs to you. Immediately, Lomo becomes angry and he speaks very rudely. And Chibuko says, no one has spoken to me like this. So he says, I want you to talk with respect to me. I don't want you to use this rude tone towards me. And Lomo calls him a land grabber and tells him that he will prove in the court that the meadow belongs to me. Hearing this, Chibuko gets angry and he says, you are intruder. And he starts talking about his family members. And now Lamo also talks bad about their family members. And Lamo says that they have always been living a very honorable life and they have never gone to the court for anything, court or jail for anything, like Chibuko's uncle, because Chibuko's uncle had gone to the jail. And Chibuko tells Lamo that his grandfather was a drunkard and his aunt had eloped with an architect. And in return, Lamo says that Chibuko's mother was humpbacked. Now, as the fight goes on, Lamo gets excited and he gets palpitations of his heart and he is not able to bear it. His eyes are blurred, his foot goes numb, and he feels that he is going to die. So he takes off his hat and slowly staggers and walks out of the room. And Chibuko wants him not to come back to his house. Now, as he is going, the father and daughter, they curse him and they call all dirty names, all that. And after Lamova has gone, Chibuko says, how dare this fool has the courage to ask for marriage to you. And when Natalia hears that, actually Lamova had come there to propose to her, and she understands why he has dressed in the evening clothes. She starts crying and falls in the armchair and she blames her father for not telling the fact before itself. Because if he had told her that he has come here to propose to you, her way of behaving with him would have been different. And now she becomes hysterical and she asks her father to go and call him back. Now, Chibuko is really embarrassed because they have insulted him so badly and thrown him out of their house. But now, because his daughter is telling him, he has to go and call her back. So, he is hesitating what to do. But Natalia starts blaming her father and calls him brutal. And she says that if if he is not for him, then number one would have stayed here and spoken to her, and they were only shouting at each other. They would have come to a peaceful terms. But because of him only, the quarrel became worse and now he has gone out. Chibuko now has no other way, so he rushes out and calls Lamo back. And Lamo returns, but he is now in a very wretched state because his heart is beating terribly. And his side is hurting him and his leg is also lamed. He is not able to walk properly. And Natalia feels sorry for a mistake and she says, yes, I know Oxen Meadows belongs to you only. And she says, why not we talk about something else? And actually in her heart she's willing, she's just waiting for Lamovo to propose to her directly so that she can accept. And but Lamo is so excited and he's not able to propose to her directly. So she just, in order to continue the conversation, she's asking him when he is going for hunting. And Lomo says that he is expecting to go to hunting after the harvest. And at that time he talks about his dog. He says his dog Guess has gone lame. Not actually lame, a slight dislocation. And he feels that some other dog should have bitten Guess up. And he is very proud of his dog and he says, I bought him for 125 rubles. But I think for such a great dog, this amount is very small, very cheap. But Natalia does not feel so. Because according to her, her dog Leap, she had brought it for 85 rubles. But Leap is many times better than Guess. And now this becomes an argument and they started quarreling about whose dog is superior to the other. Lamo says that Leap is overshot and has a short lower jaw, and that is why he is not able to catch any prey and he is not fit for hunting. But Natalia thinks that her dog is a pure breed, whereas Guess is old, ugly and skinny, and we cannot even say it is of a good breed. Like she is not even able to identify what pedigree it is. Hearing this, Lomo gets excited and he feels the palpitation of his heart and he feels as though his heart is bursting up. At this time, the father enters into the room. and both of them turn and ask him for his opinion. And he says that definitely Guess has many good points, and he is from a good breed and is very good for hunting. But he has two faults. One is he is old, and second thing is he has a short lower jaw. For this, Lomo tells that Chubuko that once when they went for hunting, his dog Guess was almost close to the Count's dog, but Leap was not able to run as fast as them and it was staying behind. For this, Chubuko says that the Count had struck his dog with a whip, and that is why Leap was not able to run properly. But that time Lamo says the Count whipped the dog, because instead of running after the fox, it went and bit the sheep. Now for this, Chubuko does not agree, and now what happens is he requests Lamo to stop the argument and gets angry. And he tells Lamo to stay at home with his palpitation because he is not fit for hunting. And again they start a big fight and they start calling each other names. And as this is very tiring, Lamo becomes to see stars. He is not able to control himself, and he feels that his body is going to burst, and he falls into a chair and faints. Seeing him fainting, Natalia thinks that he is dead and she starts crying and she requests her father to call the doctor. Now the poor father does not know anything and he feels miserable. He runs and gets a glass of water and holds it near Lamo's lips, but Lamo does not drink the water. So the father finds himself in a terrible situation. He is so mad and in his desperation he wants to shoot himself. But slowly Lamo comes back to his senses, but he is not able to see properly. He is still feeling giddy. And Chubuko does not want to take any more chances by leaving them alone, because he knows they will talk about something and end in a quarrel. So immediately he says that my daughter is willing to marry you, and he takes his daughter's hands and keeps it in Lamo's hands and bless them. And he feels that he has to leave and live a peaceful life. Now Lamo is still dazed. He is not able to understand what is going on. But finally they kiss each other and they get reconciled. But as they start talking, again they start quarreling over their dogs, and Natalia says that Guess is worse than Leap, but Lamo says no, Guess is better than Leap. And among all their shoutings, the poor father says champagne, champagne to celebrate their engagement, and thus the play ends. It's a beautiful play by Anton Chekhov. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe. Thank you.